Hey everybody, Ben here. Thanks for being here. Thanks for showing up for yourself each and every day. So if you're here from the short, you already have a backstory. If not, our word is dialect. And it got into communication, being misunderstood. We had two supporting and angel number cards. We have validation, which is aligned with highest good, awakening, authentic self, right action, intention, manifesting. And then we had the mirror. Reflect upon the past, look deep inside yourself. What you give returns. Now I'm focusing on the main words here: validation, the mirror, communication, misunderstanding. Uh, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with communicating or seeking validation. We all do it. But what I'm trying to push here is that trust in self. When we break this down, if I'm having a conversation with somebody or an argument, I'm looking for some type of validation. If I'm at work and complaining about my boss to my coworker, I'm looking for them to agree with me or side with me to validate my feelings inside that they are true. That is looking for a form of trust that uh, I might have a little bit of in me. If I had it all, why would I need someone to agree with me to prove my point correct? So now we can look at every aspect of our life, every type of conversation. How much is it seeking validation? When we think of the mirror, uh, how I feel in here is my experience outside. If I'm not trusting that, I need to create that in my external to prove it to me that it's real. This is where this comes in. So it's not saying that validation is bad, communication is bad, our behavior is bad. It is showing that where am I lacking this trust in myself that I need the external to prove it. That goes into how I often say when we don't have anything in here that is supporting us or a good foundation inside, we build it on the external so it can prove to us how we think we feel or how we should feel because we don't have it in here. And that can get into presenting ourselves a certain way, dressing, surrounding ourselves with all these things around us that prove to us who we are. We can look at people that really argue and bicker about something that's important to them, like politics or religion, their beliefs. They uh, they fight and they scream and they yell so much because it is touching something inside that they don't have enough belief in themselves. Otherwise, they would be content. They wouldn't have to argue. If we really think about it, your belief would be so strong inside that nothing out there could shake it. And you could stand there and have a conversation. You could be calm. Sure, they could say things that trigger you, but you wouldn't react because it's not pushing up against a belief. You already have that strongly in here. You don't need to get them to get on your side to prove to you that what you believe is true. We see that a lot. And that is not a strong belief inside. There's no trust in self, whether it's something stronger like politics or religion or a belief in general, but also our emotions. If I'm in an argument with a romantic partner and they can't seem to get my point, uh, we're going to fight about it because I need them to validate what I see or agree with me. Because if it's manipulative situation, well then I'm not believing it either. I can't hold that. I need them to hold it as well for me to feel like I'm being heard in a way. Vice versa for them as well. This isn't so much where this validation is placed so much in the external that it's because we don't have it. So it's really coming into this full self, this full creation, this full understanding, this full walking of I'm holding it. I believe it. I don't need them out there to prove to me that it's real. I'm holding it. This is where that whole manifesting thing comes in. Like I need it to be out there to know it's okay or it's real or it can happen before I can embody it, before I can believe it. When we truly come into a powerful place of holding that energy and being that belief, then it forms itself. Otherwise, we're a bit stuck. And when I don't want to use the word dumb it down, but simplify it, I should say, of how often in our interactions, maybe even being on here and seeing thumbnails and clicking, and it's giving us that boost of hope. But nothing's here in the external to prove it to ourselves because we're not holding it in here. If we really dissect our life, we can see how much we're really not holding inside. And we need the external to prove it to us. This goes into fear, limiting beliefs, our self-esteem issues, everything and anything goes back to what we're holding and how much we need the external to prove to us what's really going on, because we don't hold it here. We need to see to believe versus believing is seeing, which, depending on what it is a difficult thing to turn over. But once we start recognizing it, paying attention to our actions, seeing the motive behind it, we can decide what to do. Whether we're going to hold it in here, we're going to create that, or we're going to need the external to prove to us that it's real. That's where science and all that comes from. If it can't be seen, it can't be proved, it's not real. It needs to be proven for us to believe it. Same thing with spirituality and connection to other realms and communicating. No one's going to believe you. They're going to think you're a quack and you make everything up. If you talk about it, if you share your experiences, because they don't see it, so it's not real. And then if we need that proof or that validation that what I'm seeing or experiencing is real, well, you don't believe it either. So then it doesn't exist. It's in every aspect of our life, and if we really want to take control, uh, and not in a controlling way, I mean of our energy, of our trust, embodying all this stuff, we need to start holding that here, our truth, your truth, what is true to you, and not seeking this external so much for that proof. We got the Ace of Wands, new beginnings. This is obviously a huge different a frame of mind, I should say, and walking in this, uh, depending on what it's related to, sometimes isn't easy. There's a bit of accountability that comes with it, and uh, I wouldn't vouch for going too far into it because you can lose yourself. You can remove yourself. You can dissect. You can abandon parts of yourself. And that's not what I'm going for here. What I'm trying to establish is really embodying this trust or belief in self versus for positive movement forward towards the things that you want or to heal or to experience versus being in this place of lack, in essence, that we need it out there uh, to be able to move forward or to be able to be whatever it is that we want to be or experience. We got two cards here, Five of Pentacles, hardship, and the Ten of Swords, reversed. Just right in general, lack, any type of lack, and or struggle, heartbreak, shadow aspects, wounds, traumas, triggers. All these things generate a place of needing validated. If we're in a wound of, I got low self-esteem, I'm going to seek things that make me feel more than that wound does all the time. If I'm uh, a codependent, I'm going to seek relationships that prove that to me. If I'm in those relationships and whatever behavior takes place goes up against another wound, I'm going to be chasing to repair that. Versus if I actually saw the wound for what it is, I can see how I'm doing actions or making decisions and behaviors to validate that experience. Same thing in lack, no matter what that lack is, whether it's lack of love, companionship, finances, stability. I'm going to be chasing that, and I don't believe I can have it unless something out there validates that I'm going to be safe. Everything is based upon this proof that we need, that we're okay, or that we have what we need, or this person, or this job, or house, or location visually proves to me that something's happening, and then I can feel it. Uh, how can we pull back a bit? And this is where this whole mirror is. If I'm in struggle, I'm in lack, I'm low self-esteem, whatever it may be, I need something out there to prove to me, but I don't feel it in here, so it's never going to prove to me it. And it's this constant chasing game. It's that carrot in front of the horse that's just going to keep moving, because I need it out there before I can feel it in here. And we got to reverse that. I got to feel it in here for that to change. And if I'm constantly chasing this, I'll never get it. And this isn't saying we're never going to get there. It's totally possible, but we can start picking at it a bit. We can see, if we don't know our wounds, what am I constantly trying to see out there? And then work backwards. What's that connected to? How's that going to make me feel? And then look at the opposite. That's going to be a positive experience. How seeing whatever it is out there is going to make me feel. Well, then look up the opposite and do some research to see what I'm really holding. And that's why I need this so bad, to feel that way. And then we can work through it. What else do we got here, Spirit? High Priestess. Intuition. It's the inner knowing. If I know I'm right, I am right. Whether I'm right or wrong, I actually believe that. So I'm not vouching for people that are wrong, but in reality, if they believe they're right, because it's true to them. We can use the easiest example as religions. People all across the world have different religions, and they would have long before buildings existed, they had their place of practice, and they were in a little village, and that was all that they knew, because they couldn't travel and hear different options and whatever, and that was pure to them and their environment, and it was true to them until something came in and argued that or fought that to validate their experience. Sometimes that was done with force, others manipulation, and others maybe it was a good sell and they jumped on board, but it was true to them and they believe that, and still to this day they do. It's very true to them, while the other person says they're wrong. What they believe is true to them. So no matter what it is true to us. So if I start to get this, my intuition's kicking on, and I'm getting this feeling that I'm going to experience this like a good thing, and I know it's going to happen. I don't know how, that's true to me. And I should hold that. I shouldn't seek this out there, because that takes away, in essence, the magic of it. I know that this is for me. I know that this is going to happen. I know I'm supposed to have a family, whatever it is. That is true to us. And when we seek this, or let's say a job, and I'm deserving of this salary, and I just know it, if I'm not embodying that and I'm chasing around for that validation, it's that carrot. It's going to continuously push away. If I embody this truth that I know is true to me, then we hold it, and then it will be. Otherwise, it's always that carrot. It's just going to always be in front of us, because the mirror is going to win the game. Temperance reverse, disharmony. This is the carrot. I'm sure everybody's familiar with that. If they're not, I'll try to re-explain it. It's there's a carrot right in front of the horse's mouth, and he's trying to get it, and he'll run and run and run, and it'll always be the same distance. When I'm always seeking this in the external, I don't have that belief. It's not in me. I need it out there. And when that proves to me, then the carrot will come to me. But I need to be it. I need to believe it. I need to trust myself and hold that. And then I stop running. And then the carrot hits me in the face because of the momentum. It stops that. Otherwise, we will continuously be in that game. And sure, we might get by and we might have a decent life. But what we really want, or what we really feel is going to fulfill us, will always be in front of us, moving at the same speed we're moving, until we stop needing that proof outside. The devil, self-addictions. Doesn't have to do with addictions, but binded to something. And that can be these beliefs, these fears, these insecurities, whatever is existing there that that we can't hold that trust, I should say, that belief, that we need this validation. And if you want to find out what it is for you, like I said, whatever it is that we're interested in or going towards, or a goal or a dream or some feeling of fulfillment, and we think that whatever that is out there, when we have that or experience that, I'm going to feel fulfilled. Well, how's that going to make us feel? And then go backwards. What's the opposite of that? And what's that kind of around, that item, that project, that dream? What is that all around? And maybe that has something to do with stability, a type of lack, a fear. What would we have to embody to be there? If we wanted to be a movie star, do we have the confidence in that to do that? Are we worried about our body? You know, all these things. What's really holding us back from getting to that stage? And then we can work on that and see that, okay, I don't need this validation because I built that in here. I believe in myself. I believe I'm good enough. I'm holding that. I don't need to prove myself for this position, for this person. I am it. I'm emanating that energy. And so then we stop chasing the carrot, and that momentum comes back and hits us right in the face, and we couldn't believe it. I'm going to leave this here. If this resonated, feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will talk to y'all later.